it isn't just going back onto the transactional and transformational selling. You know, it's not just about ethics and morality and even ease of selling, the automatic stroke effortless selling. Transactional selling sucks, and here's why transactional selling sucks. Why I think it's a bad model, notwithstanding anything subjective like morality or ethics or anything like that. The first is because it's generally a one-size-fits-all thing. You are tending to be selling it on the thing or possibly the result, which means you get lower fees. Your prices, your rates, your fees are generally lower because you're not selling anything special. You're not hitting those higher level values, the outcomes or anything like that. So you make less money for the most part if you're transactional selling. You think you might be able to make up in volume. That's possible in things like e-commerce. But really, fortunes are made or lost based on margin, not anything else. Yeah, and margins are often predicated on your selling price, because you got fixed cost of sale and you got overheads and the rest of it. So really, the easiest way to increase your margins is to increase your prices. Well, transactional selling makes it hard to do that, which means the knock-on effect is lower margins, which means lower profits. It's just, it's just mathematics. Like it or not, agree with me or not, I don't give a shit. It's just the fact. You can't argue with numbers. So generally speaking, you're making less money. Second thing is, I kind of alluded to this before, you tend to get more infrequent repeat business because you're not thrilling people. And because you're not thrilling them, and one of the reasons you're not thrilling them is you can't afford to thrill them because you're selling on price with low margins, they've got no loyalty to you. You're not giving that fucking, wow experience. It's like, if you're a hotel, you go back there. I went to a hotel in Dublin and it was White Moose Cafe is the cafe attached to it. And it's quite big in Ireland. There's lots of fucking publicity around it. And with that level of marketing and presence in the marketing, you'd expect it to be a great experience. You keep going back. I actually stayed there just to see what it was like, and it was pretty average. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't brilliant either. So I won't go again because it wasn't worth the extra money. Okay, so that wasn't strictly transactional, but what it did mean is they didn't thrill me. I didn't really get value for money, so there's no reason for me to go back. So you get infrequent repeat business if you don't thrill them. It's harder to thrill them if you're selling at low prices, and you're more likely to get low prices if you're doing the transactional selling model. And the other thing is this. Now, I want to listen very carefully to this because it sounds counterintuitive to what I normally say. You focus on the solution, not the problem. Now, we should all be doing that in some ways, and we should be looking for solutions. But that's the important thing. We should be looking for solutions. Transactional selling picks a solution and then focuses on that and tries to shoehorn the problem into it. Now, there's a subtle difference there. The language is very similar, but there's a subtle difference there. I say subtle, it's actually a massive difference, but it sounds subtle. All right. So if you're focused on, this is the solution, this is my hammer, where's your nail? Oh, I've got a screw. Okay, we could still hit it hard enough, it'd still go in the wood, It'll work after a fashion, but it ain't perfect. So 3 things: lower fees, infrequent repeat business, and a focus on the solution. Here's the solution. Here's my nail. I've got a hammer. Let's fucking sort it. Those are direct consequences of transactional selling, and it sucks. You're working much harder than you need to. And even the intangibles, things like you don't have happy customers. Now, if your customers are never really fucking happy, well, they're always maybe carping a little bit. You get this sense that they're not that delighted with you. It must get quite tiring, I'd imagine. There's little, because the rewards in any business for most people are not all about the money. It's about the reaction of people. I can imagine if you're fitting bathrooms, kitchens, bedrooms, doing stuff in people's houses, and they're never really that bothered. What were they like? Oh, they're okay. It's hardly like you're jumping out of bed to grab your fucking paintbrush in the morning, is it?